Today I am going to make my triple coconut sorbet, which is one of my very favorites, especially with summertime approaching. And looking at my ingredients out here, you might think that I was going to build something, but I'm not. I'm going to open my young sweet coconut with a hammer and a nail, or I'm using a screw here. If my husband were going to open this coconut, he would take a machete to it, but I'm a big fan of keeping all my fingers, so I'm going to use this method instead. What I'm going to do is I'm going to poke 3 holes in this coconut. Get that all the way down there. You can see some of that liquid starts coming out immediately. I'm going to try to make a good hole there. I'm going to make one in the other side. Oops. You can see some of that juice come flying out of there. There's going to be a lot of coconut water in this one. So I'm excited. Okay, that one's in there good and solid. Okay, let's do one more on this side. There we go. I'm trying to create a hole on this side so it'll make the flow better and have the juice come out on the other sides. So, I'm going to go ahead and see how much coconut liquid I have in here. And what I want to do for this recipe is I want to have at least a cup. I take a cup, cup and a half, but I want at least that much to be able to make this recipe good. Now, this is not as fast as the machete method, but it's a little safer, especially for me. Okay, just got the last remaining bit of coconut water out of this coconut. So we're going to put it aside. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a simple syrup for this coconut sorbet base. What I'm going to do, instead of using water to make a syrup, I'm going to use this coconut water. I think I've got about a cup and a half here. I'm going to strain it just so it doesn't get any little bits and pieces of stuff in there. And to that I'm going to add about 3/4 of a cup of sugar, maybe a little bit more. I'm going to take this over to the stove. I'm going to get this boiling. I'm just going to get it to a light boil, and then I'm going to bring it back and I'm going to add it to the rest of the ingredients. Okay, I just boiled the coconut water and the sugar for about 5 minutes, just you know, so it's nice and clear and all the sugar is dissolved, and now we're ready to go. That's going to be our simple syrup for this. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make some coconut milk from this dehydrated coconut milk powder. So we're going to need about 2 cups of water to start with. That's about 2 cups there. And I've measured out 2/3 of a cup of coconut milk powder. And I'm going to just blend this out. Okay, so now I've got a little over 2 cups of this coconut milk, which smells delicious, I might add. Okay, and to that, I'm going to add the second layer. So we've got our 3 layers. We've got our coconut water, our coconut milk, and our coconut extract. So I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of coconut extract. And to that, we are going to add our coconut syrup. Now you got to remember that this is kind of warm now because we just put in our boiling syrup, so we want to make sure that this is thoroughly chilled before we put it into the ice cream maker. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the fridge for a couple of hours, let it chill, and then we'll bring it back out and get to work. Okay, I've got my chilled coconut sorbet mixture here, and it's nice and cold, so we're going to go ahead and put it into the ice cream maker. For this ice cream maker, you actually have to keep the bowl in the freezer, which I actually always store my inner bowl for the ice cream maker in the freezer in case I ever want to throw some ice cream together for spur of the moment. So it's in the freezer right now. We're going to grab it out. It's nice and cold. Woo, that's very cold. So we're going to put it on here. We're going to put in the stirrer. Go ahead and put this down here so it's all set. Turn it on. And we're going to go ahead and pour that in. mistake. We're going to do all the work. I'm going to let this run for about 15 minutes, so we'll check back in when it's done. Okay, as you can see, our coconut mixture has gotten nice and frozen, and it just looks delicious. You can see it's got to have a pretty thick consistency to be ready to pull out. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take out a few scoops to eat really quickly, and then we're going to store the rest in a bowl, some kind of Tupperware bowl or something, so you can keep it in the freezer and enjoy it for many days more to come. Okay, I think we are ready to go. I'm going to turn off the ice cream maker. Nice and quiet now. And you can see we've got a nice thick consistency here. And I'm going to go ahead and scoop out some delicious sorbet for our dessert. If you want, you can garnish this with some nice mint leaves. Another variation on this that would be really good is if you wanted to add some pineapple juice or some banana extract, you know, kind of mix those flavors that go well together. Or you can do it like this, like I like it, just pure triple coconut. Enjoy!